Welcome to the DISTILLERY podcast, episode 221, coming to you live. It's this week's episode coming to you in the midweek. I'll get back to the Monday drops from next week. But I was delayed last week. I did it on Saturday. Well, Friday? No, Saturday, I think. So I was nearly a week late. But, you know, since we started this podcast, and I say we because you guys are the ones that keep me going here, we have not missed a week. Well, actually, I might be mistaken. Maybe there was 1 week where I didn't do it out of 220. So I'm quite pleased that I've enjoyed having such an amazing community of people, starting it off with gratitude, of people that follow this podcast in the tens of thousands now, from Spotify, what Spotify is telling me. And I just want to say thank you. And also, I love my daughter more than I love anything on this planet Earth. And I just want to say, if she ever listens to this podcast, Daddy loves you more than anything in the world. And I saw some photos and I was going to cry, and that's just how it is. And she's grabbed me today in the morning before going to school, and she started crying and telling me how much she loves me, and she wants to spend more time with me, just her and me, instead of her little brother taking a lot of the attention because he's so fucking cute. He's 4.5, and I just want to huggle and snuggle, but he's just takes a lot of attention away from her. She just wants to possess me. She's a woman, and I love it, and I'm all for it. But I don't know, my mum just sent a photo of me and her, and she was sleeping, and I was next to her smiling. I was like, this is the best days of my life that I've ever had. Best days I've ever had due to having her as a child. And the story goes, when my wife was pregnant, for the first baby, I thought it was a boy, and I was super excited to have a boy because she looked like me in the womb, just in the head. Oh, God help her. But you know what I mean, just like the shape or whatever. God help her still. And then the girl goes, do you want to know what gender it is? Now, I said the 73, right? Well, there's 71 genders, also 71 virgins in heaven. Which one is it? You know, is it a spectrum? And she goes, oh, don't worry, they'll let you know. And when she says she's referring to one person. They'll let you know as time goes on and as confusion sets in during their hormonal period in their teenage years. But for now, would you like to know? It's a binary thing. And I was like, don't be a bigot. Don't talk like that about my beautiful unborn child. And just tell me the spectrum or whatever it is. And this lady, who happened to be a she at the time, she said, well, it's a girl. And initially I was a little bit upset. I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be a boy. And then becoming a girl dad was probably the greatest, most beautiful thing that I've ever experienced in my life. I don't think there's anything greater. And a lot of people that don't have children, they're snickering and going, well, fuck this guy, bro. Self-righteous father, the typical parenting kind of a thing that everyone goes through and says. And if you had a brain, you would wonder why people all sing the same tune like that. And, you know, once you walk it, then you'll start to talk it. But I was probably on the other side of the fence too, being a little bit skeptical, that of becoming a dad. I've mentioned this 1,000 times before. I shit my pants when my missus told me she was pregnant because I just thought my life was going to be ending due to taking on this enormous responsibility. And it is an enormous responsibility. I don't know why I started this podcast like this, but I go with the way that I feel. I follow the emotions down the rabbit holes. Then it becomes like Vlad in Wonderland, going down various rabbit holes, junctions, intersections, U-turns, whatever you want to be. And I'm just going with it. And my daughter being on the tip of my mind today, I just want to say how happy I am, you know, being her dad. And if you've got kids, Jesus Christ, man, like just you gotta adore them, man. As much as they get old, until they disappoint you completely, right? So that's when you're happy to go, I think, in life. When you're happy to die off and move on, let the other trees go. It's when you get utterly disappointed by your kids. But up until now, it's just been happiness. So I am bracing for the future, but we'll see what happens. I'm still hopeful So last week we spoke about, well, not last week, but on Saturday we talked about a lot about New York, and I was going to continue it on because there's some shit that happened in New York. And all right, so let's just kick it off. So after LA, we went to New York and we stayed in Midtown. I talked about the junkies and stuff staying right near our house, and I was pretty pissed off about that. I don't like seeing like this kind of shit in front of me. Thank God I didn't bring the kids. The other thing that I loved about New York was catching the trains, going to Penn Station. Apart from like a lot of like, there's a lot of people in general. So if you're not much a person that wants people around you, New York's not the place for you. I thought there was like 10 million people in New York. There's like 8 million people in all the boroughs. So that's Queens, Long Island, Brooklyn, Manhattan. What else do they have? Staten Island. I just know this from all the rap. The Bronx. Is that another one? Da Bronx? D-A? Bronx? The Bronx? I think that's it. Oh, what's the other one that's up? Harlem, but that's just part of Manhattan, I think. And we end up catching a train every day over to New Jersey. So we're going to see Anthony Robbins. It's called Unleash the Power Within. And it was held at the New Jersey Prudential Center in New Jersey. And we had to catch a train from Penn Station in New York. We catch a train to Penn Station in New Jersey, in Newark. So you got New York and you've got Newark. So it's New York and Newark, right? So it's Sydney and it's Sydney, right? So it's New York and it's Newark. Hey, where you going? I'm from New York. Oh, where you going? I'm going to Newark. Oh, okay. You're going to Newark? Yeah, from New York. Okay. So it's like, where you from? I'm from Sydney. And where you from, Mr. Trent? I'm from Sydney. Sydney. You from Sydney? Yeah, I'm coming from Sydney. It's the same thing. It's like Newark, New York, Sydney, Sydney. It's like an Asian person that just moved to Australia saying Sydney in the New York version. So we went there, and the first day was a Thursday. Now, we were a bit jet lagged. We just got into New York the night before, and we were a bit jet lagged. We had to be at Prudential Center in Newark, whatever, in New Jersey, which is another state. We had to be there at, I think, 8:30 to sign in. So you have to go in there, you get your like lanyard with your name on it, you get a wristband. You can't take the wristband off for 3 days or 4 days, whatever we're there for. Now, they didn't tell us, or maybe they did, but my missus didn't tell me that you can't take a handbag, like a luggage bag in there. So I had a backpack, like a laptop backpack. And I took it across from Manhattan, New York, to Jersey. And when I got there, first we lined up for about half an hour, at least, maybe 45 minutes, waiting so we can get our lanyards and our sign-in, the bracelets and all that shit. Then we have to go back outside of this like hall and then line up again. And now you got to think about there's 10, 12,000 people here lining up to get into this stadium. And we got VIP tickets, which doesn't guarantee you a seat. So every day you swap seats. You can just change wherever you want to go. You just go and sit there. So we had like the first tier. You got the dance floor area, and then you got the first tier around. We are in the first tier. And then Tony Robbins and all this shit, these people come out to motivate you on a stage, like Bon Jovi out here. Like, it's my wife and it's now or never. Now, we ended up getting in about 2.5 hours after we got there. So we got there about 8:30. It's about 11 o'clock, and we just got in to get inside of the Prudential Center. Now, there's a lot of security guards, okay? And the security guards, as I enter, you got to enter the building, they've got metal detectors in there just in case someone tries to pop Anthony Robbins through the ear like they did Donald Trump. Now, I get to the front, and this lady, I'm not going to say where she's from or whatever. She just goes, no, oh, hell no. You can't bring that backpack in there, no way. That's a big book bag. And I was like, yeah, it's got books in there. I've got books, I've got pens, I've got highlighters, full organisation station. What do you want me to do with it? It's a $280 backpack, you know what I mean? And she goes, oh, you can't bring that in here. No, sorry. And you've got another 1,000 people waiting behind me in the line. My miss is getting frustrated. Now, she was smart. She just brought some fucking Coles bag and just slung that over her shoulders and put like a couple of pencils in there. Me, I'm coming in there like some professor from Harvard. I've got a nice backpack with like some velour on it. It's all tucked in nicely. I've got snacks in there, cashew nuts, all these protein bars. I'm throwing in hydration stations, 1.5 litres of 9 to 10 pH water. I've gone to Whole Foods before that. I'm looking after the temple, bro. It's the first day of the Anthony Robbins Unleash the Power Within. I want to start it on a good note. I didn't go in there like with a Coles bag, not knowing where to get my food from. I'm coming in there organised. I had a fucking tin of anchovies in there. So I get there, she goes, oh, no, there's no chance. I was like, oh, come on, man. What do you think? She goes, no, you could be carrying a bomb in there. I go, it's no bomb, right? There's no bomb. She goes, how are we supposed to know? I was like, look in the bag. Have a look in the bag. If you can store a bomb in a little bit of like a polyurethane liner of a bag and it could blow up all the people, then, I mean, you guys should be awarding me and taking me to the CIA because I should be like the James Bond of all bomb makers. But there was nothing in there. Again, just some protein bars, some hydration, some fucking anchovies, and a few pens. Lamy. I like the Lamy pens. They're very nice, all right? Good to write with, the ballpoint. Anyway, so if you want to know what Vlad writes with, it's a Lamy pen. The Lamy ballpoint, the Safari. I love it. So I ended up, here it is actually for the camera. Chikati Matarin Lamy, sponsor me. So she sends me to the back. She goes, there's a canine. You're going to walk out here. What you're going to do, this is what Americans, they love this. What you're going to do is you're going to walk out these doors, right? You're going to walk out. You're going to hop over that fence over. You're going to go down. You're going to hook a hard right. You're going to go down. There's another hard right. You're going to go into the inside of the building where you checked in. I'm like, fuck off. I'm not going back in when I checked in, Felicity. I've been waiting here for an hour. Oh, no, you're not coming in with that book bag. You need a locker. You got to put it in a locker, or you're going to go and get a canine to sniff your ass, see if you got a bomb. I was like, what? I come from Sydney. I'm not going all the way to New York to blow up a couple of people that need motivation, Pichkati Matarin. And she was like, oh, I can't let you win. Now, something was telling me that this woman's a bit stupid, right? Now, just the way that she was conducting herself. So I ended up walking out. And I was slightly more stupid than her because I followed her instructions. I went over the railing. Some other kind of lost mongs like me are walking around with bags, not knowing what day it is. Oh, they kick you out as well? Oh, yeah. They kicked me out as well. Oh, fuck. There's only a bag, dude. Like, there's people complaining about shit. I'm like, look, I had a Tony Robbins seminar. We can't be complaining. We get caught complaining. Here, these guys will put us on show. There was some secret filmer will put us on the big screen and go, this is what losers look like. They have no accountability and they only have excuses. They're not looking for reasons on how to fix their problems. I fucking whistled twice in those two sentences. So I ended up walking around. I asked a whole bunch of people that were well spun out because they had thousands of people trying to populate this room. Can I see a dog? Please. Do you have a dog here? Now, one of them goes, are you okay? I was like, yes, I'm okay. I need a dog to sniff my ass. Whether I have a bomb, whether I'm Muhammad El Hijazi fucking / Habuki, can I please get in? And he goes, no, you can't with the backpack. And I go, all right, can I get a locker? Now, I'm looking at lockers. He goes, they're all taken. I go, all right, so before I change my mind and go back to fucking Manhattan, have a slice of pizza or two and enjoy my day walking up and down these streets, browsing different clothes shops. Why are you guys so disorganized and illogical with this shit? Who the fuck is coming to a seminar without a bag? Oh, your bag needs to be 12 inch by 14 inch maximum because bombs can't go under that apparently. And I was like, okay, no worries. You haven't seen what a grenade looks like. It's very fucking small. I know some guys that would slide that up their ass for pleasure and leave the wick hanging out. And then at a party, if the MDMA hits hard enough, they'll light that thing. and run around the backyard, only just to fart it out just in time. Anyway, so I ended up going around. Then I come back. She sees me again. She goes, oh. I go, there's no dog. So she goes, you wait here for a second. And I was like, okay. So she hops out of the metal detecting. When she walked through, it beeped. She walks out of the door. Now there's 100 people waiting in my line because there's 6 metal detectors or 5 metal detectors. I'm in one. 100 people behind me. Now they're looking at me like, you're an asshole. And I'm like, I'm not. I didn't know, or I didn't read it, or my missus didn't tell me that I can't bring a bag in. She did tell me later on when I walked inside. She goes, baby, this was in the email. I was like, you booked the tickets. I didn't get the email. Anyway, maybe I did get the email, went to spam or whatever. Anyway, so 15 minutes she takes. She comes back. I told everyone behind me, I go, listen, get out of this line. Pick another line, okay? Because this woman, I don't know whether she's vaping or she's gone to get a frappe or some type of thick shake from Dunkin' Donuts, but she's satisfying some urge, and it's not servicing me because I've been 15 minutes waiting for a fucking bag instruction. Walks back inside. She goes to me, okay, so what you gonna do? Now, you wouldn't believe this. If I paid you, you wouldn't believe this. You're gonna go down. You're gonna hook a hard right. You're gonna hook another hard right. There's gonna be a canine there walking, waiting to smell your ass. Now I was like, look, Franika, you told me this 15 minutes ago. You told me this 30 minutes ago. She goes, oh, yeah. Well, what you gotta do is not this right here, just the next right, and then a hard right. And then there's gonna be a canine waiting to sniff your ass. And I'm like, I did this, Franika. I can't do it, Bianca. And she goes, you're going to need to do that because I'm not letting you in. Now she turned it to Donald Trump. Trillions of people, you're gonna go right. You're going to go right again. No one's ever got right this. So I walk outside. My missus is there now. I could see my missus cannot lie. Everything is written on her little face. The stress through her gilet in her neck. She's like, why am I waiting for you? Right? She's all motivated to get motivated, which is some type of paradox I don't understand. So she's motivating herself for the motivation that's to come. Now I'm slowing her down, like the handbrake in her life. And I was like, now you know how it feels. And she was like, can I go in? I was like, go in, no worries, go get a seat. So she goes in, and that's when I flipped the coin. I had a quarter, 25 cents. I flipped it. If it landed on heads, I was going home. Heads is home. Tails, I'll stay. And it landed on tails. By the grace of God, I landed on tails. I went, pretended to walk around. I came back in, but instead of going to see Franiqua, I walked in to another person, was just a big guy with a beanie that was kind of just like sitting atop his head. I don't know, it wasn't like a yarmulke, but like a beanie. And there was like a hood yarmulke. And it was just sitting at the top. And that's not racist. I'm just describing what it looks like. So if you're going to cut that, I'm just describing what it looks like. And I use the slang of hood yarmulke, which makes it a little bit more descriptive for you so you can illustrate it in your head. Don't have a go at me if you're going to cut that, okay? So don't just make me feel guilty even though you have not said anything and me, I'm just being neurotic all of a sudden because I'm still thinking that it's 2021, but it's not Donald Trump sitting there. You can say what the fuck you want. So the yarmulke guy looks at me and he goes, sir, dude. And I was like, sir, dude. So I had opened up my bag and taken out whatever I had and I crunched and scrunched this bag to show him that I can crunch and scrunch. No, I was angry because the bag, Samsonite, I like it. I've crunched and scrunched the shit out of it. And he didn't even bat an eyelash. He just goes, come through. And I went through, beep, come through. I beep. He didn't even give a fuck. He just let me go through. He goes, I'll catch you later. I was like, see you, man. And, man, where'd you get that hood yarmulke from, bro? Let me get it over there. Shit. All right, let's get some questions this week. Thoughts on the new woke rebranding of Jaguar? Thoughts on the new woke rebranding of Jaguar? Man, all I know is that whole movement, the rebelness of it is going to just fade out because of Elon Musketeer that took over X, Twitter, and changed it to X. If you go on X, bro, you could say everything. Like, I've been waiting years to say the F word, you know? Fat cunt is what I was going to say. So don't go there cutting and snipping and tripping when I'm telling you that I just want to say fat cunt again. But that was body shaming for a while. But now you can say it again. And I was going to just say it to myself publicly, like, fuck, you become a fat cunt. Like, that's kind of, it's going to go because people are fed up. The majority of people are fed up with treading lightly around bullies. The real bullies are the ones that are pushing these agendas, man. They're the real bullies. Because not once, man, I'm not going to go on about this. This is a short-ass question. But not once have I seen anyone waving like a straight flag around ever. And I looked up on the internet, what's a straight flag? It's a black and white flag. Not like you're finished, not the finishing flag. That's the black checkers, black and white checkers. Straight flag is just like straight lines of black, white, black, like a zebra, black, white. Have you ever seen it? I've never seen it. But I've seen gay, trans, this, that, the 73 genders everywhere. I've seen it in our local area. And I've never seen a straight flag. So all of these people pushing these ideologies, the majority of people that are pushing it, they're not even gay, or they're at least they're closeted. Corporate middle management heathens. And those type of people are getting phased out by a cohort of logical people that don't want to deal with the nonsense anymore and the intrusive ideology pushing. It's very similar to the church going, man. Like, for a long time, people were saying there is no God. Like, way before that, there was tribalism. And then people came around and said, look, Jesus Christ is the way, the light, the savior. And then that got put into people. Some people didn't like it, right? And then it got pushed too far where everyone was a demon and a devil. And then it went the other way in the 60s and the 70s, and women are burning their bras and having foursomes and stuff like that. And then that changed the whole shape of females. And males as well, we changed due to it. Like, we're not men the same way they were in World War I, the great generation. We weren't like that. They will go and die for our country. We can't even fucking drive to vote for our country. But things go too far, and then there's always a rebellious backlash. So there was too much on the one side of conservatism, so they went all the way to the other side of progressivism, and there's 73 genders, and also I'm a cat and I'm a parakeet, and now they're bringing it back again. And it's this is what happens when you swing too far to the east and to the west, and stay kind of towards the middle. But people don't want to stay towards the middle, and because it's boring. The middle is boring. It's realistic. The middle is boring. You want to go all the way, you know, to the edges of society. And that's the old Dostoevsky quote of, you know, give a man food, shelter, and nothing to do but eat cake and reproduce for his species, and he'll find a beautiful way to burn it all down just to entertain himself. There's many reasons to, even though that's as trivial as it gets in a easy, poetic way of putting it from a 19th century writer from Russia, that is at the core of it a lot. We need to create drama. We need to create drama. Don't think it's for justice. It starts with an inkling of justice. There's a strain of justice needed for the trans community, for the gay community. There is a bit like that when it gets too far. Not now. They're doing what they want when they want, how they want it. They run a lot of the major companies. They're in parliament. They're in all the facets of life. Don't think that they're suffering from anything, right? It's a self-suffering the same way that we suffer. Everyone suffers, right? So someone's going to write back to this, oh, you don't suffer the same as me? Yeah, right, bro. Have you been up at 11:45 at night time when the missus is having a go at me and I'm pushed up against the wall? No, you haven't, all right? With the two kids are screaming and I'm in hospital with them, you haven't. There's also pressure, you know? Some self-inflicted, some not. Some just life. So everyone's got their own, every mountain has its own weight to carry, bro. But from what I could see, the thoughts on the woke rebranding, I've totally missed the question, but the thoughts is it's just another trend that's going to go away. We go through, especially in the Western world, we go through, not everyone does this because other people have got better things to do with their life. In Japan, he's not worried that much. He's worrying about how to make an amazing sushi meal. He's not going to go out there picketing and then not having a culture of food, which is what we do. We're out here picketing and have zero culture, like except for Coke and alcohol, cigarettes and vapes, doing cocaine and drinking a lot of alcohol to the point where you either punch someone in the head and they die, or you end up just being hungover for 4 days and getting Uber Eats delivered to your house. So, you know, we could be doing something else, like making our country amazing, making it a little bit more cultural, having some cool cosmopolitan. Is cosmopolitan the right word? Continental? Cosmopolitan? Continental? I don't know. There's a lot to do, we could do, man. But instead, it's better to sit around tweeting about things that you think, you could be a justice warrior from your phone and make yourself feel good. Even deep down inside, you're just bored. All right. Tips to avoid. What's something that you once strongly believed in that you've now changed your mind about? T. Cobby. Good question, man. I haven't prepared for this type of question, but once strongly believed, and now, I thought about this the other day. Well, my own mind, bro. That's probably the thing. Like believing that you've got it right. That's probably what it is, I suppose, T. Cobby. I think this is like, you got confirmation bias. I'm the king of confirmation bias. Everyone can find a reason to justify their thoughts, their beliefs, right? That's why, before I preface this by saying, without a system, well, a strong house, a strong home of beliefs, then you get swayed everywhere, okay? And if you're already a little bit on the side of anxious or worried and stuff, you don't want to have that level of chaos in your mindset. So that's why people so much rely on religion, things like that, because it gives you like a set of values and gives you a structure. But if it's not religion, it could be science. It could just be the lack of religion. That's another religion. Atheism is an ism. It's another religion. So I suppose I strongly believed in my perceptions. And then sometimes the perceptions will fool you. And then that made me a non-believer after that. So just keep me in check, basically, man. Believed in Santa until my friend Isaac, the prick, came up to us in year 3 when I was 8 years old and said, there is no Santa, and fucked it up for me. And then I was all suspicious of my dad when my dad was up on Christmas Eve at 2 in the morning, taking bites of carrots and sipping the VB beer that we left for him next to the fireplace. And I caught him once with his undies off. He must have been drilling my mum as well, and then walked out after that, which is, something to see. My dad was only probably 30 years old when I saw him, 32 years old. So all good. I've seen it, and it is what it is. So probably that's another thing. What else did I believe in that you've changed your mind about, that I strongly believed in? Man, just kind of seeing. Tony Robbins said this thing that was that fucking kind of shocked me a bit to the core. There's a lot of stuff that has shocked me to the core. When something shocks you to the core, I believe there's 2 reasons. 1, there's a fuckload of truth in it, or 2, there's you've asked that question and you couldn't find the answer, and then the answer comes, and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like if you've been looking for something for ages, and then you find it, you're like, oh, yes. I don't think everyone's like, I'm like this, but there are people like me out there that listen to this podcast a lot. I know they are, because otherwise you listen to Chatty Abfield, who's talking about, putting carrots in different places and talking about politics. She has no idea about politics, right? So you listen to this podcast, you kind of in many ways resonate with the shit that I'm talking about here. Tony Robbins said, people have values, right? So a set of values that they have almost like inscribed into their life, into their character, into their navigation through time and space in life, right? However, like say your values are honesty, loyalty, You know, there you go, 2 of them. Fuck, I don't want to go through them all. Honesty and loyalty, right? So I'm an honest guy, I'm a loyal guy, I'm an honest guy, I'm a loyal guy, right? But one day you find out this honest, loyal guy drills some girl on the side of his wife, right? Now you work out in retrospect, because no one can see into the future. And that's why you kind of, everyone's a hero in retrospect. What do they say? The hindsight is 20/20, right? Captain Hindsight flies in all the time to let you know why things are happening. But people that are seeing well into the future, I mean, that's a bit of a visionary. Kind of amazing to be like that. Now, I've said many things in this podcast that have come true, but I'm not going to try to claim that crown right now. If you fucking don't get your needs, you'll break your values. This is what he said. So first, he goes, first are your needs in life. And then you have your value structure built around that house. But for example, the guy that was an honest and loyal guy drilled his receptionist several times. His need was more than being honest and loyal. His need was for a physical connection, right? With a female partner. Say his wife had cut that out, or something's gone wrong, or she's not into her anymore, or she's going through menopause, or she hates his guts and she hasn't got the balls or backbone or value system to tell him. So she's just meandering through life, and this guy's just slowly resenting her. But he's got the loyalty and the honesty. But as time goes on, he needs that need met. So he drills some lady called Jackie Smith, and that's just a made up name. Jackie Smith Chan, right? With a dash in the middle like JZ. And it's JZ in America, JZ over here. Drills her, and then you go, why would you do that, man? Tony, you're the most fucking honest guy. You're such a loyal guy, family man, this and that. He's like, this bitch has done my head in for 10 years. I can't get her drilling. He needs that connection, not getting it, boom, goes. So his need was greater than the value. And this is what Tony Robbins reckons is studied. Human beings will break their values to get their needs. This is something, T. Cobby, that I've learnt that I didn't believe in, for example. Like, I didn't believe people will do that shit. They won't do this or do that. I had a lot more faith in people. And as I get older, more cynical and, jaded and all of that stuff, I start to see that there is a lot of this type of stuff. I come from a pretty decent family and decent culture and all of that stuff. But you learn about this shit, and it makes the world a little bit more treacherous to watch. That's one thing that blew my mind. And the other thing that blew my mind when Jordan B. Peterson goes, no one gets away with anything. Now, he said that from a clinical point of view, saying that he used to listen to hundreds or thousands of clinically depressed people or whatever, criminals or whatever people are going through. And, excuse me. And he said, when we would track back, now this could be just his version of it, when they would track back to all the shit that went down through their life, they'd be able to mark out a lot of reasons as to why shit went down. But again, that's Captain Hindsight. Like, you can do that. Whereas this other guy that interviewed Jordan was like, that's bullshit. Like, things are randomized and they just happen, and how can you say this about that, and how can you say about this? You can't. People just walk and they just break their leg, and people just, are good people and then they get cheated on. And whereas Jordan's like, he's got cheated on because he's got no say in his family, he's no backbone, he's not strong enough. Like, he starts to find excuses, which is quite annoying, because sometimes you just want to fucking blame someone, bro. When you get a Jordan B. Peterson type of guy around there, he's just, oh, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Oh, shit, yeah. All right, let's see if we've got any more. It's going to be a short ep today, very short ep. Got to go pick up my son. It's 40 degrees outside. What other comedy goals do you want to kick, Bean knocking them out in the American trip? just on that note, Willie, comedy goals. I do set small kind of goals, man. Small to medium goals. There's obviously long-term ones that I'd like to be. I don't give a fuck to be really respected by other comedians. I don't care, man. I get respect from other comedians. Like, genuinely, they're so nice to me. I can feel the snickering, the lashing of the tongue and the teeth, the gnashing of the teeth and tongue sometimes when they're just like, oh, this guy, his mate, has cut his teeth on the internet and now he's out here with us in playing the Comedy Store and all of these places that it takes people 10 years to get up for 5 minutes and then they do it shit as well when they get up. So for me, I just got up. I didn't even want to, and I got up. A friend of mine invited me to get up at the Comedy Store. And in retrospect, it's really nice for them to have me on. I really appreciate it because it's always been a great room. I've had a lot of fun there. I've bombed a couple of times, but 90% of the time it's been amazing. Man, I want to travel. I want to do shows around the whole world. I feel that I can do really well in America. It's going to happen. It's already happened. So on a bigger scale, it's going to happen. I just want to meet more people. I want to do the shows because people that come to comedy clubs and comedy, they just genuinely want to have a good time, man. They want to have a laugh. So I'm blessed in so many ways to be part of this world where people are looking for joy, and that's kind of the one thing that I love giving to people is a laugh, some thoughts, a connection, and I love doing that. Like, it's one of the things that comes to me naturally. So probably that, man. Just meeting a lot more people. All right. Christian goes, what's something you do that pisses the missus off around the house and the other way around? All right, so easy. What I do that pisses her off, she wants shit done like ASAP. She wants the folding, the washing, everything done straight away. She's very pragmatic, organized. She wants it done yesterday. So she puts the clothes in. The moment the washing machine goes bing, she wants me there opening it up. Oh, hello, you're finished, are you? I open up the basket. Oh, you're wet little clothies, aren't you? Oh, let me pop you into the dryer. Close that. Bing, put that on for 50 minutes. And then just while I'm waiting for that, vacuum the house, go do the folding, take out the rubbish, clean the rubbish bins, walk inside. Are you okay, baby? Would you like me to make another sliver of salmon? Yes, please. No worries, do the salmon. Oh, you got a right trap? A little bit tight next to your neck? Is that what's continuing to give you migraines? How about I put my elbow in there for about 42 minutes, even though that I have fucking tennis elbow here? I'll relax you a little bit. Oh, you want a foot massage, do you? Cool, guess what? I'll clean the bathtub. That's good too. And I'm going out to make 20 grand tomorrow night. What else do you need? Thank you. You're the best husband in the world. That's what women want. They want fucking everything these days. And guess what? Men can't provide it all. But that's the one thing that pisses off. I'm slow with it, bro. Like, I'm quite self-involved. I'm always working and writing, always. I'm either with the kids or I'm working and writing, or both. Many times I'll be driving the kids to swimming lessons with my phone on the voice to text, doing a full joke for 2 minutes. And you hear in the background, it's like, Daddy, Daddy, and it comes out in the words. So it's like, so this guy walks over the bridge, Daddy, Daddy. And then I'm reading it back 6 months later before my show's going, what, Daddy, Daddy? What's that? So I'm slow with it, man. Like, I'll get to it when I get to it. And that's usually 3 days later. And I like to do shit in bulk. Like, my missus likes to do it in like bite-sized stuff. I'm a bulk guy. I'm bulk buying shit. I want to go in there. There's 4 loads of washing. Good. Put them all on top of the bed so the bed looks like you can't see the bed anymore. You just see just like the corners of the bed. And then there's 160 pieces to fold. I'm doing that. I've put a podcast on. The kids are asleep. I'm folding it all. Boom, I've put it into 4 baskets. I leave it in front of the doors of the rooms, and then I go to sleep. Whereas my missus, one thing comes out, bing, she wants it folded. Put it into the cupboard. Bing, folded. Put it into the cupboard. I can't compartmentalize like that. Overwhelms me too much. It's like, fuck, it's too many little things to do. I don't like that. There's too much little shit. Just give me the bulk. I want to just build the house. I don't want to come here every day 1 brick at a time. I'm just spending this week on this wall. That's just how my brain works, man. It fucking works. Works excellent. So just get in where you fit in. That's all I got to say. Now, what how she does my head in, and I'm airing out the old laundry here because it's all about the laundry, is that being up my ass about me all the time. Fuck. Just like I don't go up her ass about her, because when I do, she gets cut. I'll say, baby, I don't like this or that. And she'll be like, can you leave me alone, please? And I'm like, all right. Can you also leave me alone? No, I can't. And you need to do this, you need to do that. Okay. There's no arguing. You just stitch your missus up with logic. It's not going to work, bro. So I've learnt that very hard way, unfortunately. I mean, you can't live with them or without them. That's the truth of life. You need to have a partner. And my missus is a great partner for me. We do each other's head in. Like when we went to New York, one morning, there's the day after the first night, we walked on coal. Now, how did I get to this? I didn't even finish the New York trip. Fuck. We walked on coal. And at the end of it, we got home at 3 in the morning. We went to bed about 3:15. We woke up at about 9 o'clock in the morning. We were very underslept. We were jet lagged. Had an argument that morning. Now, we're going to Tony Robbins to motivate us after we walked on Pepel, on hot rocks. Now we've argued. We don't even want to be within the same city, let alone the same train carriage. We're arguing. I'm sitting there. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing in New York with this person who's getting the shits with me? When I'm talking to her about something, she's got the shit, something was up with her, and then I pissed her off or whatever. And so we're arguing. I'm like, what? Like in my head, I'm furious as to why I'm even here. And then in the afternoon, we're hugging and kissing, and oh, thank you, I love you so much. It's the best trip we've had together. We've deserved this. It's a strange dynamism, man, that happens in marriages. You're gonna have brawls about stuff. Sometimes it's a personal thing. You're tired or whatever. And something they say, just you go, oh, fuck's sake, you know? And they don't want, what fuck's sake, what? Huh? What is it? What's your issue? And you're like, oh, no. I haven't really got an issue. Yeah, you do have an issue. So then you got to deal with that. But, man, I haven't met a perfect couple in my life, man. And usually sometimes when they seem too perfect, they're both cheating on each other.